Hello and good evening. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Welcome to Learning Live. This is Tuesday, August the 15th, which is awesome. Woohoo! Halfway through August, which is incredible to me. Looks like we've got a few eyeballs on. Hope everyone is doing well. I've got Matt taking care of comments for me. Hello, Matt, in the comments. And we are here for Learning Live. And I did a lot of learning myself this past weekend. We were very blessed to have Paula from Spellbinders come and spend both Friday afternoon and all day Saturday with us. And we were playing with, well, all things Spellbinders. We were playing with the Glimmer, we were playing with the Better Press, and we were playing with the newest addition to the Papercrafters Workshop lineup, and that is the sealed wax program. You can tell I've already been playing, so here I am just kind of cleaning up my mess. Before you say it, I know, we've already heard from a few customers, oh, if I knew you were bringing it in, I bought it elsewhere. Absolutely no problem. I know that we are, this program launched about a year ago, so this is, the fact that it's new to us, I know that this is not new to everyone else, but my team convinced me that this was the thing to bring in a convert. It has been lots and lots of fun. Um, the kit itself, if you have not heard of wax seals before, if you have not heard of this program before, this is the starter kit. And I'm sorry, my camera is down a little bit close here. I don't want to get it over top of my candle, but it comes in this great little box. And what you get in the kit is you get your kettle, which is this little guy. It's got a metal platform here and a wooden base, and this is designed to hold your metal spoons, which you also get one in the kit. You get, and I'm going to put it back over the tea light. The tea light does not come in the kit, but those are easy enough to secure on your own. Do you have a question, Matt? I guess everything is okay, so I'm just going to keep on going. I am going to put this back over my tea light. Also in your kit, you get a little starter pack of gold beads.
Be warned, you may not be great Wi-Fi. You might be choppy at times.
Okay.
It's Wi-Fi's acting up.
Okay, so Matt is telling me that the Wi-Fi is acting up. So hopefully we can keep on going. And you know what? Maybe I'll just go through the basics tonight, and we'll see where we go. So yeah, back to the kit. So you get your kettle, you get your spoon, you get wax beads. This is the gold color. You get this silicone mat, which is perfect for creating wax seals if you want to do them freehand, if you want to do them not on a project. It's great just to, to hold your spoons on as well. It's heat resistant. And then you do get one handle with a wax stamp, and I'm just making sure I grab the right one. Not sure if you're going to be able to see it very well. This one says "For You," and it's got a beautiful little vine on the side. Let me bring this up close there. And yeah, I am glitchy here, so hopefully we can get through this video. So what this does is you place it into the hot wax, and it cools around the form to be able to get your message across. And I'll show you some different ways that you can bring that message out, give it a little bit more accents and attention, and have lots of fun. So you do get the one seal in there, the one stamp. There are other ones as well. Again, they don't look very pretty when they're on their own, but man, they make some stunning work. So this is a mandala, and this one says do not open until December 25th. Now, there are two ways that you can create wax seals. You can either create it here on your mat and just build up a stash. You can see that we do have, a stash of them from the weekend left over. Or if you are brave, if you are confident, if you think you know what you're doing, you can create it right on your project. So I'm actually going to start. I'm going to be brave. And I'm going to start, I've got a little piece of cardstock here that I have run through an embossing folder, and I'm just going to do something super simple, something super easy, and just show you how this works. So in your spoon is where you're going to put your wax. So I'm going to put it over here on my little tea light. Let me just scooch this over so I don't want to be moving it too much, but I'm going to put it there. Just like poor Darlene had last week. And we're back. Let's see if we can try this again. So I am trying to, okay. You know what, folks, we're gonna quit this live and we are going to go old school. I will just come in through Facebook Live and see if we can have a better success with this live again. For some reason, Tuesdays and lives are not our friends these days. So my apologies, and no. How is it on your end, Matt? Okay. Okay, we're here now. I know I said I was going to leave, but you know what? Let's keep trying. Let's keep trying. So there is a little bit of wax still in my spoon. Typically, when you are starting with a cold, clean spoon, you are going to add 4 beads of wax, 4 beads. But because I have a little bit in here already, I am only going to add 3. So I've got 3 little beads here, and I'm just going to go plunk, plunk, plunk. Another thing you're going to want to have handy is something to stir with. I have an old pokey tool that I don't really care if it gets much stuff on it, but we use this all weekend, and the wax really just chips right off. So don't worry too much. But I would, my recommendation is you have something. Now maybe it's just a bamboo skewer from making kebabs. Maybe it's toothpicks. My fingers are too fat to do toothpicks. But really, you just want something that's going to stir up your wax, break up those chunks as they start to melt, and here we go. Patience is a virtue, which is not something I necessarily always have, but as your spoon gets hot, it's going to stay, well, it's not going to stay hot, but the more you do it, the more you're playing with this, then the heating time isn't going to be as difficult. So here I've got it nice and liquidy now. Just going to clean up my pokey tool. And again, if it dries, then I can just chip it off. It is actually really quite easy. So now you can see that the wax is really, really liquidy. I can't turn it over, but it does have a little bit of black soot from the candle. So it's always handy to have, don't put the paper towel over the candle, but have a paper towel handy so that you can clean things off as you go along. I'm just going to put that back down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to pour it right here on my project and try to keep that drip kind of in the center so that you make a nice round glob of wax. I'm going to just clean off right away. I'll show you that backside in a second. It's not too bad. And you do need to move relatively quickly, so I'm going to do the for you. Now, one of the tips that Paula shared with us is if you're doing things right on your project, here, let me put this down first. So I'm just going to put it right in the wax. Let the weight of it kind of ooze everything out, and then just let it set. So what Paula recommended and what the team at Spellbinders do is they figure out which is the right way up, and then they put a little black mark right here on the base of the stamp, so that if you are going right onto your project, you make sure that you get those words in the right direction. I'm going to just slide this out of the way. And I'll come back to that because you do want to let it set, for 30 seconds or so. Darlene's rule of thumb is while you're letting one set, do your next one. Once you've started your next one, your first one should be ready. So for my second one, I am going to do it again right on my project, but I have some sprigs. So lawn fawn, Spellbinders, sorry, not lawn fawn. I'm all mixed up already. Let's see if I can move this out of the light a little bit. There we go. Spellbinders has a whole collection of these sealed sprigs. They're different shapes, different flowers, different leaves, and they've got this nice long sticky stem so that you can create artwork right here on your card and then use a wax seal to bring it all together. And you know what? I am not even going to use any glue. I have my little sprigs here kind of arranged the way I like it. I think I need a third one. I'm stealing from Darlene's stash, so big thank you to Darlene for letting me have some of your die cut goodies. Let me find a good one here that doesn't have this. Oh, here's a brown one. Here's a brown one with some pretty little flowers on it. If I can get it out of the baggie. Here we go. Because I always like to do things in threes. So I'm going to go like this. And so I've got my sprigs in a nice little arrangement here. But like I said, I am not even going to glue it down. I'm just going to take a little tiny piece of yellow tape. Now, Darlene has recommended the skinnier one. I just don't happen to have any here at home. Just going to take this little teeny tiny piece. And I'm going to use that to hold my pieces together. And I think I'm going to do gold again. So let me get that heated up. And because I already have a little bit, I just need 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And I promised to show you the back side. This one's actually not too bad. But we're going to play. I think this time I will use that Mandela stamp that I've got here. And you know what? Once you get started, man, this is addictive. And again, I'm fairly new to this, and you can see that already I'm having some great success. While that's heating up, let's go back to number 1 here, and I can just peel off, and look at that. So pretty. It's perfect that it has a little bit of an imperfection. I think there are tricks and ways that you can get them a little bit more of a perfect circle, but you know what? Perfect is overrated. We want it to look handmade with love. We want it to look genuine and authentic. So a little bit of oozage, a little bit of lopsidedness has never hurt anyone. How's our screen doing, Matt? Do we have any questions?
No questions, and don't talk about the screen because so far so good. I don't want to jinx it.
Okay, knock on wood. All right, so I've got my gold all cleaned up there. And once again, I'm just going to come right over here, and I'm going to go right over top of that tape. So I'm going to pour this right over top of my tape. This one is a little bit more oblong, but I'm okay with that. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Where'd my stamper go? And then here we go. And you just want to kind of let it sink right in. I didn't push. I didn't adjust or move. I simply let it drop, and the weight of this stamp just pulled it right down into the wax. And now I'm going to let it set.
Ellen made a comment about the imperfect versions. Makes it look more real.
Absolutely. We all like everything just a little bit irregular because you know what? We are a little bit irregular. Now, like I said, you can be making them right on your project, like I have been, or if you want to make seals, but you don't know exactly where you're going to put them, maybe you don't have a project in mind, you can do it right here on the mat. So I'm going to take this blue one and I am going to start heating that up. I do have a little bit of wax in there from a previous project that I was working on. And one of the really, really nice things about the wax seals is if you don't like what you've made, as long as you're not making it directly on a project, you can break it up, you can cut it up, and you can melt everything and literally start from scratch. Um, this is one that I was playing with. I was trying to do a kind of a two-color one. I'm not super, I mean, it was a learning experience, but I'm not super happy. So I can actually cut this up and then I've got a nice gold and blue mix. Actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll do that one right now if I don't lose it here on the floor. All right, so that one is melting down. So I can literally just cut this wax up. I haven't had much luck in tearing it. Darlene seems to be able to just tear it with her fingers, which is awesome. But using the shards, and you do want to cut it up into smaller pieces so that it melts a little bit easier. But it is also kind of fun to do this two-tone kind of look as well. So let me
We have
get
a
my
question,
cookie
Cher.
Okay.
Ellen is asking, what is the best adhesive to use to adhere the seal to projects?
Excellent question. What kind of adhesive? Well, there are a variety of different things. Spellbinders does have some self-adhesive little discs. They were just unfortunately out of stock when we ordered these in. So what we used on the weekend was simply liquid glue. So I've got my Nuvo glue here tonight. Darlene was using her art glitter glue. A liquid glue is better than a tape runner. You're going to get a little bit better coverage, and you do want something that can kind of smoosh together. A tape might be a little bit harder because it's more of a hard surface going against the greasiness of the wax. And when I say greasy, I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean because it literally is wax, it does have a bit of a residue to it. And we just found that the tape adhesive wasn't as successful. All right, so I've got this all kind of mixed in here. I don't want to mix too much because I like kind of this marbly thing that is happening. Again, probably not translating well on the camera. I tried to get the best that I can, but here, I'm just going to pour it right here on my mat. Again, I'm going to just make sure I clean off my spout so that I can, let's do another for you. And because this is here on the mat, it really doesn't matter what direction. Now, it is kind of helpful if you have a fairly level surface. When we were doing it on Friday, I think our floor sloped away from us a little bit. So all of our seals kept sliding away from us. But if you get it right when it's hot, you can push it back in just a little bit. So I'm going to let that one cool. See if I can get this one cleaned out. So when you go to clean it, as long as it's still liquid, you just have to clean your spoon out with a paper towel. It's that easy. You do need to be careful that metal is hot. And ask me how I know. So you want to make sure you're always holding that wooden handle. And when you're cleaning, use a couple of layers of paper towel. Because trust me, it hurts. All right, so this time I
Sheri?
think, yes?
Kim is asking whether or not you can buy the silicone mat separately.
To my knowledge, at this time, the Spellbinders silicone mat is only sold in the kit. However, and I don't want to move too much with my candle, but I do have my Sizzix silicone mat here, or you can use your glass mat. You can use we had that medium mat that went on top of your glass mat. You can use your stencil mat from Waffle Flower. You can use your craft mat from Ranger. As long as you've got a heat resistant surface, that really helps you with making the seal. All right, so I'm going to, so that one was a mixed one. I'm going to go back and just use straight blue. Now that, actually, no, I'm going to change to, this one is copper. No, I'm going to do, I think I've got a couple of little beads of red.
Don't use any
No,
of
I won't.
Darlene's purple.
No, Darlene's purple is all gone. I only have 2 beads of red, so you know what? I'm going to go dramatic. I'm going to do black. So because I'm starting fresh, I want 4 beads to start with. But I want to show you something else that you can do with it. So I've shown you mixing. I've shown you doing it right on your project. Let's take this one off and just kind of tip it gently. Ooh, ah, isn't that pretty? That is a really pretty little mandala right there in the middle of that seal. While the black is melting, while this guy is still setting, here is another way that you can put it on your project. So this is our new envelope of wonder from Spellbinders, and we used it to kind of accent and put the sentiment right there. We were playing with glimmer, as I mentioned, on the weekend. This one's got a little fluffy on it that I've got to get rid of. Hold on. So here was a glimmer tree that we put a seal right on top of it. And Darlene had some really beautiful samples. So here's some more. There is a die that creates this twine look. Here she's got a nice mixed one as well with her sprigs. And we've got one over here where she did that twine in the glitter foam. And it really looks like fabric. It moves like fabric and it looks really, really awesome. And you really just need a very simple background to make that work. Yeah, that one I'm gonna wait till the end. So great on card projects, but you could also put this on the cover of a mini album. You could do this in a regular scrapbook as well. It is just a little bit dimensional, so you do have to be aware of that. If this happens where the handle comes out without the seal, you just kind of bend and curve. And look at how cute that one is. All right, so the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that mandala because I think it's pretty stunning. I'm going to take my black. The other thing I have here that is handy is just some really fine glitter. My glitter spoon. I'll just use my fingers. It's okay. So this one I do have to move quickly, so I'm going to get my glitter open. I'm going to pour. I'm going to wipe. I'm going to put that back on because I want to come back to it. Oh, no, before I do that, just a little pinch of glitter. And then, and you can see I was kind of borderline for timing there in that it didn't spread a whole lot, but it's going to come out all sparkly and all fun. Let me get a couple more black beads. I've only got 2 black beads left. Yeah, I'm going to get that 2 little black beads back in there, see if we can get that melted down, because I'm going to see if I can squeeze out one more out of the black. Let me just get a wet wipe here to clean some of the glitter. Whoops, I touched the side of that. There we go. All right. So that's melting down. The next thing I'm going to try is a complete and total experiment. So I punched myself a 1-inch circle, which is the same size as the stamp. I'm grabbing a piece of saran wrap, just a little piece. So I'm going to take my disc, I'm going to take this. I'm going to wrap it in saran wrap, because I'm going to see if I can take this stamp and just do a circular shape without without the message. So there we go. And now I can come back to this guy. So all the glitter is kind of clumped in the middle. So I'd have to work on my practice on that. But you get the idea that you can add elements to the wax to give it a completely different look. And you know what? If I didn't like that, then I can just go like this. I wonder if it melts into the wax, if it will spread out a little bit more. I kind of like the fact that, you know, it's not a whole lot that you can do that you can't undo, unless, of course, it's right on a project. So, what else can you do with this stuff? Let me go back
Darlene
to...
was making her own enamel dots on the weekend with
Yes,
leftovers.
I was going to get to that in just a second when I've got some melted. But yes, you can absolutely make your own drops. And especially when you are mixing colors, it's a great way to make sure your project matches. So here she's got the blue, I think, with silver. And then she made little enamel dots to go with it. Except they're not enamel, they're wax. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Okay, this is really interesting. The glitter is all in here. We're making it all sparkly. Whoops, don't spill it, don't spill it. All right. I'll come back to this one. Let's go back to, this is the December 25th one. Let's do that. So let's pour it out. Now we've got the sparkle kind of all the way through it, which is neat. And yep, I do sound effects with this too. So we'll let that set. And like I said, if we come back to this, if we want to raise that message a little bit, you can use things like the gilding wax or the Sizzix luster wax, or we do have some oil-based paint pens. And you just want to do this really lightly. You just kind of kiss the surface, and that it is a bit stinky. So if you are sensitive to smell, just be aware of that. But here I'm just bringing out the detail of the pattern. There we go. And you really just need a super little bit. And look at that. My lighting is not great tonight. I apologize, guys. Hopefully you can see that and it's coming across so you can see the message really well. All right, let's go over here to my saran wrap guy. Let's see what happens. All right. I can do this. I can do this. I believe in the concept. So let's get the disc out.
Did the saran wrap melt?
I don't think it melted. It's just really stuck. Okay, well, you know what? Sometimes you just got to try something. Yeah, no, that saran wrap is not coming out at all. The theory was there, but it's too sticky. So in this case, I'm not going to remelt it. I don't think we need to melt that saran wrap. But hey, we all learned something tonight, didn't we? All right, let's go to my glitter guy. Is he ready? Ooh, ah. And with this particular guy, because he is already a nice round shape, if I wanted to, I could cut the big gloopy part off. But again, I kind of like that irregularity. All right, what else can I show you? Let's do the enamel dots. Okay, so let me just heat this up a little tiny bit. Actually, no, I'm going to go to the gold. Let's go to the gold. Let's chop in this little piece of gold and blue. With this one, you don't need full wax, but we'll get that melting down, and I'll show you, especially on the silicone mat, the drops are really cool because even when we tried to make it not round, it didn't help. It kept making its perfect round pearl shape. So that was really cool to know that, you know, even when we tried to do teardrops, we tried to do some different shapes, it didn't work. Yeah, melty, melty. Come on, guys. I don't think, yeah, this isn't liquidy enough. Then Darlene and Paula started playing. So you don't even have to have round shapes. So here they were playing with some mixed wax and they just were drawing patterns with it. This one here, they just put kind of a gloop of wax in there and then tucked the embellishments, the little die cuts into it. And, you know, I think there's a lot of fun to be had. I know Chris is really excited from a mixed media standpoint because there's some really cool ideas that she has. And I think that was the one thing that I was most concerned about with this particular line and this particular set of products is, you know what, I'm a big believer in you want your supplies to go as far as they possibly can. So if you have a product that does one thing, I would love to be able to find 2 or 3 other things that it can also do. So that is where I challenged my team. Paula embraced that and jumped right in as we were playing on the weekend. So here, now that this is all melty, I can just do like a little drop. And when you've got a lot, it's a little bit harder. This is a great technique if you've just got a little bit left. So here, I've got poured that out. Let's do this. And then when I've got a little bit, you've got a little bit more control. But again, you need to be a little bit more patient as well. And you just make those teeny tiny little drops. And like I said, no matter what we do, no matter how we try to make them not round, they stayed round. Okay, I'm just going to heat this guy up here so that I can clean him out. I'm going to switch to a different color. But that's really fun there. If you wanted to maybe have them a little bit more imperfect, let's try it on a piece of paper. Okay, so this is, no, we're still not waxy enough yet. And then once these are cool, you can just kind of chip them off, just like we did with, yeah, see, it's already quite hard. So you just kind of chip them off, and Darlene just keeps them in a little Ziploc bag. If you really, really want them hard, you could put them in the freezer to really solidify before you put them away, but they just kind of pick off. And then you start building your collection. All right, let's see if this one. So if I do a little droopy droop here, I'm going to let it sit just for a second until I clean out the spoon because I want to switch colors. And that is really the thing. You want to make sure that you change color or you clean everything out before you change colors. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Trust me, don't touch it. It hurts. Okay. So now, what can I do here? Yeah, you got to move fast. So this one I didn't move fast enough. Okay. And I could throw those back in and remelt them if I wanted to. Yep. So this one, because I did not have enough wax, it's a little bit imperfect on that left-hand side, but still super cool. All right. So one of the things that Paula and Darlene were playing with, let's see if I can recreate this. So I just got a piece of cardstock. Let's get my little bloopies off the side. Let's do some copper. So let's get this guy heating up.
Heating that up, Sheri. There's a
Yep.
question from Joan. When
Okay.
Darlene put those drops on her card, did she
Yep.
drip them right on the card, or did she put them on the silicone mat first and then adhere them to the card?
I believe, and if Darlene is in the comments, she can answer for sure, but I believe that she did them separately and put them on the project afterwards. And I'm only saying that because I can see, if I'm looking super closely, I can see little bits of glue. But if Darlene's in the comments, she can confirm. I think you can do it either way. All right, so now we've got some beautiful copper. Copper is my favorite color. We'll get this melting away.
Darlene did confirm that she put them on the mat first and then adhered them with glue.
Thank you. You know, it's one of those things, like for me, it's one of the, I can see myself, you know, just bringing everything out. And once if you're digging out your wax, you're digging out your tea light, you're trying to find a lighter to light the tea light, you're playing with all the stuff. To me, it makes total sense to kind of mass produce and get a whole bunch done. Then you've got a nice stash so that the next time you're making a card or you want to put it on an envelope, you've got them ready to go. You don't have to dig it out another time. But I will tell you that this is so much fun that you're going to want to dig it out. So like I said, here, I'm going to try something. Not on this piece. I watch a lot of a lot of decorating shows too. So I certainly love the whole drip technique. So, I mean, something like that is super cool. Or the other thing, and then this is what I was trying to do before. So I'm going to do 1, see if I have enough, 2, and 3. And grab my pokey tool. And can you can kind of chain them together. As long as you move fast and it's still really liquidy, that would make a super cool accent. I'm going to bring it up. I can see it's not super close to the camera. So let's see if I can. Look at that. Isn't that kind of a cool thing? So tons and tons of stuff that you can experiment and play with. We have a fair amount of, well, we've got 10 colors of wax, and we actually don't have a whole lot of handles left, but honestly, starting with the one in your kit is a fantastic way to just get started and play. We the new holiday release is available to us probably in a couple of weeks, and we will have them in September. There is a nutcracker. There are some other really cool stuff. And because we didn't have it last Christmas, we are going to look at last Christmas's goodies as well to see what we can bring in for you. So I think I will leave it there tonight, you know, between the technology issues and all of that good stuff. I am going to bid you adieu. But if you are interested in learning more about wax seals, oh, I have to show you. Did I already show? I don't know if I showed you this one already. Look at that. On that black background sure is stunning. And this one here, instead of an embossed background, Darlene did kind of an ink blended background with, again, those little pearls, the wax. There's so many different ways that you can spin these guys, and it really can take something super, super simple and make it incredibly impactful. So if you'd like to learn more about wax seal, then you know where to find us. And we hope to do more learning lives, more experiments, more new techniques with this medium. So we hope you will join us again. Have a good night, everyone. Stay cool. And we will see you tomorrow night for What's New. See you later.